Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a bunch of 6x8 projects. I have been I'm printing out photos like a photo printing queen. And so I have just been like going through my stash and figuring out what I can use with what. So for this first one, if you follow my channel, I recently did the tutorial on how I get my photo collages like this, and we made this one together on that video, as well as this collage as well. And so we're just going to finally put those pages together. So the video that should be posted on my channel already showed us how to make these. So now we're taking them and making them into a double page spread for my 6x8. So for this one with this is going to be a complete scrap lift from the lovely Morgan Beal. So we're going to do some stamping, which I have the letters pulled for the first word here. And then this one is simply going with this lovely paper, and we'll embellish it. And then I'll stick on my journaling. So that's 1, 2. We are finally going to use the love story kit. So I got this great selfie of me and Miguel. We recently went on a date out for dinner because our daughter is with my mother-in-law, so his mom, for a week or two. And so we've had like date nights like every weekend. Well, so the 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, and then Friday, Saturday afterwards. And so I finally have a decent picture to go along with this page. And then I just want to use the overlay and this. And so this one too is going to have a lot of stamping, because I feel like the little prompts that it asks, so it's like the year you met, where we met, how we met. I just want to do like stamping a lot, probably with the same alpha. So like the year we met, just put a big, 2006. And then where we met, Daytona, Florida. We met at Cairo school. First kiss, in the car, kind of things. So just like big text and phrases will be the impromptu of all of this, just to keep it simple so that I can get the story told. And then I have this little guy that I've already kind of done in a very unusual configuration. This one I believe is for Citrus Twist, but these little banners came in the Stories by the Month this year from Allie, and I think this was May. And so this was this date night. See, that one's the same thing. So I printed them as 2x3s. We went to a nice dinner, and then I just, used the other ephemera and stuff. So we're just going to put some journaling on this, because pretty much this one is done, and then we'll embellish the rest. So that is the game plan. I have these hearts because I hadn't decided on a color, and this is the alpha that I think I'm using for at least the stamping on that first one, which this was from... Oh, and Allie Edwards and Laura Wansick collab. Because I was going to say, was it December Daily? I can't remember. Okay, so let's get started making this one. Okay, my crafty friends, so let's get started. What I will say is that I'm very proud of myself for all these layouts, because there's a lot of stamping. And stamping, I need to get into a more rhythm with it, because I buy them, and then you would think I would use them on the next 10 projects, and like I don't. And then you forget about them, and you know the rabbit hole that we're talking about. We buy the newest ones, and then we forget about the ones we just bought the last time. At least I'm guilty of this. So I am glad that I am breaking out this older alpha set. It's not older. I think it's still available. If it is, I will leave it linked down below. But here I am already thinking I spelled believe wrong, and I should have definitely looked it up. I should have, but here I am, I'm just like, no, there's no E-V-E, or is it? And I was like, no, it's just V-E. And then later on, after I'm stamping, I'm like, no, I was spelling it right. So there is a little typo right there. And when you're stamping, this is probably everyone's greatest fear. Like you'll mess it up. And I'm already doing it on the physical product, so I don't have another paste of this paper. But we're rolling with it, because you know what? That imperfection shows A, I'm human, B, I can't spell, and C, we used it and rolled with it anyway. Maybe this will be a nice lesson when anyone is ever going through my albums, that I too mess up. And you know what? It's okay. And did I throw it away? No. And did I work it out? We went with it, So don't feel bad if you mess up on your stamping. It happens to the best of us, and even the most seasoned scrapbooker, I'm sure, spells a word wrong once in a while with their stamping, and it's okay. And don't get me wrong, I could have even used like a little like label cover up, but because the label itself would have been white and you saw those, they had like grayed out boxes, it would have been more obvious if I had like a white rectangle over those letters to stamp it over again, because now you put a white box on top of a gray, printed paper. So that's also what made me not go in and kind of cover it up, even with the sticker, because I was like, you know what, anything I do, because it's already colored, it's going to mess it up. So it stayed, folks. It stayed. So for this collage, I am simply inserting a piece of pattern paper that I already kind of pre-selected. I think I auditioned them out off screen. So the colors that were more going with the paper on the right, and then the colors that were overall in the picture itself. Now, don't get me wrong, the picture itself is very colorful, which is why you could have probably used really anything for it, and this is why I'm auditioning out the little heart behind it. Not that that really made a big deal, but if I made it blue, then it got washed out. If I put it in yellow, I think it also got washed out. And I'm just trying to have the little acetate word make stand out a little bit more. Maybe I should have done like 2 hearts in a row to give it more contrast, but this is how it stayed. And like, once again, we're rolling with it. We are rolling with it because the train keeps going forward. We're not going to dwell on, not perfect layouts, okay? And like I said, this is a complete scrap lift from the lovely Morgan Beal. She had shown this probably right when the Make Story Kit came out. Maybe she was the guest storyteller that month. I'm unsure, but she did post it, and I just thought it was perfect because she has a little bit younger children than me, but everything she's going through, you still go through it, So we make lunches is what we have, or at least I have, making make believe. Make craft time, I make pool time fun, and I forgot what the last one was. Oh, make forts maybe or something. And those are just almost like a currently thing, like we make believe still, because for us, she always wants to, like, almost like I can definitely recreate her her day at school. She always wants to be the teacher. We always have to play classroom. I'm always one of her students, and she gives me math equations to do. And she's Mrs. Pearl. Her name is Mrs. Pearl, is our classroom name. But craft time, you know me, I have a whole craft room at my expense, so she's always in here, and we have tons of pool toys because she loves going down and getting the sinking toys. So that's also what I mentioned in the journaling that will come, because I want to hand letter it. Then for this collage, once again, I made it in that one lesson I did. I will hopefully leave it linked down below, but it was showing you how to do these photo collages on apps, because I am not a Photoshop type of girl. I am not computer savvy, but I am app savvy. And so I figured out a way and the ratio to have that one work out good to showcase a lot of the photos that I did during my Mother's Day photo shoot. I do a Mother's Day photo shoot annually, and the journaling that will be on clear sticker paper, which I usually also have it linked down below. It's the MACO one, but when that one's not on sale, I get the Avery. Is indicating exactly that, like, just that we do them every year. They're my most favorite photos, because let's be honest, as the scrapbooker, we are always taking photos of everyone, and very rarely are they taking of us unless I'm doing a selfie moment. So I do look forward to my Mother's Day photo shoots. I've done them ever since Vale was 2, so maybe the first year I missed it, but she was a wee baby then. But then when she was 2 and standing and stuff, then we did them. So I have a lot of years. And anything, I always think about this, anything I do annually, I always want like a separate album to always just have them all in one of them. So I might make a Mother's Day photo shoot album, as long as she always lets me, and let's be honest, I hope she wants to do Mother's Day photo shoot until she's 35 with her own kids, That's the grand wish. But I'm putting it in the universe, and hopefully, if I stay positive, it will come true. So for this one, I had mentioned that I just want to do a lot of stamping for all of the prompted boxes. I think in this prompted page, it lends itself only to, obviously either answering the prompts. I know Allie had made them into like little flip up moments to either house more journaling or house the photo underneath it. And I could have done all of that as well. But in some cases, especially I guess with these 3, keep it simple, sweetie. I could have deconstructed the page and made flips and try to line up photos and the journaling. I could have done all that. I truly could have. And by all means, maybe I will on another square dominant page in the future. But I just thought, you know what? Once again, I am stamping, and we have stamps out. And in this instance, I probably busted out maybe like 3 or 2 other alphas that were in my stash just so that I could get the right size to fit in the designated white space of each box. And that was fun because I had to kind of dilly dally a little bit. So the other alphas I buy dominantly are Carrie Bradford. She has great alphas, and Heidi Swap as well. Heidi Swap, actually, I think, and L Studio. L Studio. Those are the 3 other alpha brands. So most of my alphas are going to be, yes, Allie Edwards, L Studio, Carrie Bradford, or Heidi Swap. I mean, I have 1 or 2 like from Close to My Heart. I have 1 or 2 from Studio Calico. I might not even have 2 from Studio Calico, but the other brands are more my jam. So once again, you know, and even right now, I think the ones I've used so far have all been Heidi Swap. Yeah. We're going to run with it. But I'm also using colors that are on the paper. So we have like a little bit of a red, which I think I'm using like Lumberjack Red or Festive Berries. And then I see I'm using a gray right now because I think I just wanted another color other than, what did I use already? Like a tanny color, which I think is tie-dye. Ugh, I'm always messing up some of these names. But this one is Hickory Smoke. And I know what I was making sure that if I use red ink, it wasn't in a red box, you know, so that way too. So that when I didn't want to use the red in the red box, so I needed another color to put in red. And then like in the red box, I used that like beigey, peachy tone. I think that was what was going through my head at the time, which is the only reason why I was probably stalling a little bit on stamping, because I was just like, I don't want to put red in the red box. What color do I use? That was going on in my head. Now, granted, probably not a big deal. I probably could have just stayed with the gray or the beigey pinky color throughout the whole thing, but you know, I wanted to make more work for myself. So there, I didn't have you suffer through all that stamping, but you can see all the different fonts that I was using. And it came out cute, you know, like now I understand always when we do like different fonts for titles and stuff, it's a nice, cool, effect. Definitely a nice effect. And so I answered all the prompts about me and Miguel. I think it was like the year we met. I think I saw like first impression of him. I wrote his dimples, and then he wrote first impression of me. He always tells a story about me at the gym in yoga pants. So I put bootylicious. I spelled out that. Our first kiss was in his car after a date. What else was in there? Our first place together. So I put like our old address minus a couple of numbers so that, I mean, granted, we don't live there anymore, but I just didn't want to put like my whole stinking address that right there on a thing. Best trip we ever took together. I stamped out Las Vegas because that's also where he proposed to me. And what else were some of the big ones? You know, we met at chiro school. We both went to chiropractic school together. And gosh, I have to see what the other answers were. Oh, you know, something that makes us laugh. We are totally the house that does our dog voices. Like, I'm always Moana, and he's always Maui, and we give him like a goofy tone. It's just an ongoing game that we have. So that makes us laugh. It was a fun project. Okay, that will wrap up all 4 of these layouts. The only one that's not complete is the one I want to do handwritten journaling, which I'll write after we're done here. So we have this one with the cluster here with that blue that really brings out over here. Simple but classic and tells a great long story. This little insert will go in an All About Me album, which is like one of our date nights recently. Then I added a little bow on or ribbon on this one off camera, and then all of that. Then we have this one all said and done, so the transparency will be in the middle. I feel like there maybe needs an embellishment over there, but for now we'll just call it complete. And I love how all of this text is good. So all these stamps that I use are like sitting by the sink getting washed and dried. And then this one, guys, I totally messed up. I was like, I can't even spell believe right. And you know what? Yes, it stinks that I messed it up. Am I mad? Yes. If I had another sheet of this paper, would I stamp it over? Of course. If it wasn't sitting on gray and it was just white, oh, I would have already taken care of it. But we are going to live with it. This is part of scrapbooking. It is the errors that make it beautiful as well. Love how this came out as well. Like I said in the intro, this is a complete scrap lift from Morgan Beal. And so, yeah, we're going to run with it. I kind of yeah, I just love it the way it is too. So this one I'll finish with the writing, but other than that, all 4 of those are complete. I hope you found inspiration hanging out with me today. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe if you are new to my channel. And to everyone that is here with me every single video, hello, hello, hello. I always appreciate you being here with me. And until next time, everyone, bye.